Call the roll.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Calandrello.
I move to approve the proposal from Homer Industries LLC dated August 7, 2020 for the purchase of installation of playground safety surfacing at the cost not to exceed $18,800.
Second.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Calandrello.
just a couple of things. So this is just the typical wood chips we're talking about, right?
That's correct. So these are the approved wood chips for playgrounds.
And I guess I just want to comment for the future, for the budget, since it's coming up sooner or later. I would like to see the analysis of going to a little more safer surfaces like the rubber, recycled rubber, or what we can do, especially for maybe some of the regional parks to get hard hit or used harder. I think it's safer, I believe, to my knowledge. Also, I think it's a better play surface. As a parent who's on playgrounds probably 5 times a week with 2 little ones, it's definitely a difference. And I know some of our parks have at least the landing pads that are rubber, and then it goes into surface. So when we talk about redeveloping parks, something that I would like to see the numbers and see what we can do with. That's all.
We'll get a cost comparison.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Stan's Donuts and Coffee backfill vacant restaurant incentive program inducement agreement.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to approve a sales tax sharing inducement agreement with Stan's Donuts as outlined above, pending approval of appearance review and building permits.
Second.
Any comments? So that everyone's aware, this is Stan's Donuts is taking advantage of the economic incentive that the board approved for backfilling restaurant space. So this is something we approved, I don't know, back in April, May timeframe as part of the COVID relief. And so we have Stan's Donuts, a longtime Chicago favorite, filling the PDQ site.
Mr. Mayor, if I could, if Ed could introduce, we have some folks here from Stan's.
Okay, great.
All right, we have some representatives here from Stan's Donuts. They wanted to make some, if you want me to go over the terms of the agreement, I can as well.
They have donuts?
Okay. They're here to make some comments in regards to the project, and we're happy to welcome to Orland Park.
Feel free.
Yours.
Thank you.
It's all yours.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you want to say those?
That's it.
I touched it.
I also brought along some donuts for you and cookies. So I just want to go over our, I don't know if you're familiar with Stan's or not, but Stan's, my name is Rich Labriola. I used to have a wholesale bakery in Alsip. Grew up in Blue Island, so I'm very familiar with the south suburbs of Orland Park. We've been looking at the PDQ site probably over a year, and obviously we have decided on it. And I just want to tell you a little bit about what we do. It's not only a donut shop. I think you'll see in the renderings that it's something really special. And our build-outs are expensive because we don't want to feel like you're just going into a donut shop. It's somewhere that, similar to Starbucks, to come in, use Wi-Fi, hang around, and also enjoy donuts and coffee. We're really big on our coffee. It's not just our donuts. We do fresh-made cookies in-house. The drive-through will be our second drive-through. Our first drive-through in Oakbrook Terrace opened last April and is the best performing store through COVID because of drive-through, because of the suburban location. So I think the suburbs are obviously ready for what we have to offer. If Oakbrook Terrace is any indication, I think Orland Park should exceed it just because there's a greater history in what we do from my baking company days. But we really believe, and Oakbrook Terrace should show this, that this one unit can do somewhere to 2.2 to 2.5 million annually. So it's really a great investment for us, and I think it's a great investment for Orland Park.
Thank you very much. We're excited to have you.
And I don't know who gets these.
I guess executive session, we get those.
There's some separate
Don't put them too close to George.
Thank you.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to town.
Call the roll. Call the roll.
Trustee Getzianis?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Debt modification, fine reduction.
I'll entertain a motion to approve a debt modification fine reduction for 18249 Breckenridge Boulevard, Orland Park, in accordance with the cost structure outlined herein. I'll entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Can Stan bring back some coffee?
Hot cocoa.
So moved.
Are there any questions or comments on this?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Fenton?
this is the second one we've had in the past month. And just wondering, is this going to be because we did the first one, is this going to be a precedent now that we're setting? I understand we want to get this building, this home, to look nice versus the condition it looks right now. So, and I understand, but is it costing us more money to do all of this and all this work, and then at the end, we turn around and say no? I know in here it says that we're covering our costs, but I just have some doubts about this.
I think, I'll save you here, George. We're recovering our costs here. The only thing we're not getting is the punitive damages. So the other ones, we waive those costs. This time, they're agreeing to pay for all of those costs and all the fees. It's just the punitive damages, which, oh, by the way, it's a new owner. So you penalizing a new owner for coming in and cleaning up a place that we've been flooding and everything else. It's got a basement filled with water.
I know, I read all that, and
And the reason you see the second one here is because the board may recall, I believe it was in March, the board put in place a process for debt modification. I don't know how it worked prior to that, but what happens now is if there is any debt modification above $5,000, any write-offs.
it has to come before the board.
As it's right, and then if it's under that, there's a process as well. I don't know how it worked in the past, but I can say that the reason that you're seeing now the second one is because of our new process. But I think this is really kind of a win-win solution here.
Right, I understand, we're getting rid of something that's
a nuisance.
an eyesore,
Yeah.
is now going to be improved hopefully it'd be improved, so.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're getting covered with our costs and all the effort that goes into it, and
Yeah, any out-of-pocket costs are being covered,
it's just the punitive damages that weren't.
are being reduced, right?
Okay.
Any other comments?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas?
I had a concern because I looked at this property and didn't see it on the open market, yet the current owner has a potential buyer. So I guess my concern is that it's, an arm's length transaction, that it's not a give and go, that they're getting a discount, so I don't know if anybody can make any. It's not on the open market.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the terms of the.
Yeah,
Okay, that's.
I
the
do
thing.
know that Attorney Patrick Collins, who's been working on this for Kleinthorpe and Jenkins, is aware of both parties, has been working with them for, I think, about a year to put this transaction together. And that he feels, he has seen a copy of that contract, and he feels like it is a fair transaction.
Okay, that's what I have a concern with, but I also concur with Trustee Fenton on reducing punitive damages. I understand the rationale, but it just, going forward, going after other property owners that, their properties might be blighted, are we setting precedent by doing this? I mean, that is definitely a concern. You want ordinances that have teeth in it, and by lowering the amount, somebody can come in and say, well, you did it to this guy, why aren't you doing it to me? I think it weakens our position going forward, but I do see, at the end of the day, why it does work out, for all parties. It could be a win-win, but, there's rules. Rules are made to be followed, and fines are made to be paid, so I have a little bit of an issue with this.
Again, so going back to this, we're getting $9,389 from the on the lien that we have, plus we were getting an estimated $10,000 to $15,000 to cover the costs from the buyer as well. So we are covering things. I mean, it's almost $20,000 to $25,000 roughly we're getting. So it's not nothing. And so yes, it's important to enforce things, but it's also important to realize that at some point, when you, particularly with a property like this, we need to move forward and get the property cleaned up for everybody else's home values around it. So I think this is a good option.
Mayor Pico?
Trustee Dodge.
It, deal makes sense. I assume that the names of the parties will be public record, correct? That's the way this goes?
Yeah, I think the names of the parties will be public records because there will be a contractual agreement that
Between them and the
allows
village?
that allows this lien to survive the closing, and all parties will be a part of that.
Got it. And I think just picking up the spirit of the discussion, maybe we bring it back to a committee of the whole, because I think if I understood where Trustee Katsinas was going, in a case like this where you've got an owner who's not doing what they should be doing, and then you've got another party that's coming in trying to get it back on the market, that feels a little bit different than a property owner who's going to stick around and is trying to wiggle out of the punitive piece of this. So maybe we could put a little bit more structure on the guidance to staff as you start to architect these deals. This makes sense. Let's get the property back online. I think everybody agrees with that. But let's tighten it down so that somebody can't just game the system and then say, oh, woe is me, and then start negotiating. I think that might have been where Trustee Katsinas was going. So maybe we can have that as a board discussion at the committee.
Absolutely.
Any other comments on this? Call the roll.
Trustee Fenn?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrella?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye. Motion carries.
Winter, spring 2021 Recreation and Parks brochure.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
I move to approve to publish the Recreation and Parks Winter Spring brochure in a digital format only, notifying residents of the brochure's online date through the mid-October and mid-November water bill cycles.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Fenton.
this would be to staff. How are we going to get to the people who maybe don't have access to online program, access to online? Or,
Yep, we have a plan for that.
good.
So the notification would be through the water bills. So in the mid-October water bill, we'll have an information flyer in there to notify them that the brochure is digitally online. We can print some copies, and upon request, we can mail those copies to residents.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Malani.
At our last meeting, we had a budget adjustment for the senior newsletter, right? And it was $20,000, and we wanted to make sure that we printed them because people like to have them in their hands. But now for the recreation brochure, we want to have it in a digital format. A little inconsistent. So I'm wondering maybe there's a different way to approach it. Maybe we're talking about sending something out in the water bill. Maybe what we need to send out in the water bill is, what is your preference? That way we can budget accordingly and go, okay, instead of needing 26,000 of these that we're going to send out, maybe you only need 5,000 because they want them in print. We can still save some money, give people what they want, and then if people want it digitally, they can do that as well.
That's a great idea. I mean, that's something that we should put into place where residents have an opt-out of paper option, so they can get it digitally. So we'll work on putting that process into place, and I think we can use our existing constant contact to put something like that into place. I know in my past life, that was something that we worked on. The challenge is keeping that database clean, but that's something we'll work on going forward.
Yeah. But if we're sending something out in the water bill, it's just as simple for them to check the box and send it back. So
Yep.
just a thought.
We'll work on something like that. It's a great idea.
Any other comments?
Mayor,
Trustee Calandrella.
this is just going to be temporary until COVID's over, right?
That is the hope, yes.
Okay, because I think it is important to get that book out there. I think parents take it and earmark it and stuff like that. So even if we have to cut down the mailing to just people have used the rec programs in the last year. I just feel like some people just take that book and keep it in a drawer. And I might know one that lives in my house that does that, but I think a lot of parents do that.
I think we find, too, that it's an important marketing tool. When we ask people who register for programs how they heard about the program, the number one thing they say is through the brochure.
And believe it or not, it's not just parents that do that, it's adults that don't have kids
Absolutely.
in their house that do that too.
Absolutely.
Because seniors use it, non-seniors use it, a lot of people use it. I think the issue here is that the programs have been, if I understand correctly, the programs have been changing rapidly because of COVID and because of restrictions and lockdowns and changes. And so since that changes so rapidly, we don't want to, it's not a cost issue so much as it might be completely ineffective and completely changed, correct?
That's correct. When we put out the fall brochure, we found out that shortly after we put it out, a lot of the information was incorrect. So this way we can keep it up to speed.
Okay. Any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Calendro?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Conservation at Home Program, Chicago Region Trees Initiative.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
I move to authorize supporting Conservation at Home and the Chicago Region Trees Initiative by authorizing the attached letter be distributed to property owners within the Village of Orland Park.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Calendro?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye. Do you have any speakers? Anybody here to speak? Board comments? Trustee Fenton?
Yes, I'd like to let everybody know that last Friday was the Devil in White City program at the museum. Because of COVID, we have to change the amount of attendees that are allowed. We had to cut it in half to accommodate for social distancing, but it was still a sold-out event. We had 27 guests at the event. Then on Saturday at the museum, we had our first birthday party for an American Girl theme. We had 6 girls from the ages of 5 to 9 who enjoyed crafts bingo and a tea party with their dolls. I'm sure the guys up here are really encouraged about that one. The parents also enjoyed the atmosphere and said it was a perfect space for the girls to have a memorable party. Our next program out at the museum is called Ghost Roads of Illinois. It'll be Friday, October 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Be sure to register for this. Also, if you get a chance, go over to the Boley Farm. They're still open till the end of October. They close on the 31st. If you're looking for pumpkin, gourds, or any other fall plants and vegetables, they're still open on 151st, just by 80th Avenue by the fire station. And also, if you want to go out and see some beautiful things, go out to the Stellwagen Farm and the Nature Center. Both are really turning beautiful at this time of the year, especially with this great weather that we've had. It's great for the photosynthesis of all of the plant life. Trustee
Dodge.
Just a couple of comments. I'll pick up where Kathy left off, that this is definitely a beautiful time of year in Orland, and it's kind of nice to see all of the subdivisions that have mature trees and the colors that pop and fall. So it's definitely a great time of year. And just a brief comment, George and I spoke earlier that we're in that season where signs start popping up in public rights-of-way. And I think Public Works got out there on 104th, and I just hope that we maintain our vigilance, letting these campaigns that are outside of Orland understand where they can or cannot put their signs. It's always been an issue that it's well-intentioned use of the First Amendment, but they're putting their signs in the wrong place. So, you know, George, it's a forever cycle, as you know. Signs magically sprop up like dandelions on Friday night when they think Public Works isn't working, and then the signs sit there in the public right-of-way till Monday morning. So I'm not quite sure if we've got a better way to solve that, but it's certainly that season. And then just, you know, as we go into the fall, I mean, clearly the numbers with COVID infection rates are going up. And then yet again today, the CDC published new guidelines that I'd call everybody's attention to about the risk with aerosolized transfer of the virus. So as a country and a community, we're certainly not out of this, and just always encourage people to take all of the science and new data into the consideration as they behave themselves in public. Thank you.
Trustee Calendro.
No comment. Have a good weekend, everyone. Have a good week, everyone.
Did you say no comment?
No comment. Have a good week, everyone.
Okay. Trustee Healy?
Over the weekend, we witnessed President Trump's battle with COVID. I'm glad to see looks like he's on his way to defeating it. And I just want to say we should pray for him and for all those other victims of the Chinese flu that comes in here, and everybody could use a prayer now and then. So I hope we can all pray for him. Thanks.
Trustee Katsinas?
I just wanted to thank the representative from the Crisis Center for coming to the meeting and the board for passing a resolution for a very important topic. I would encourage all to go on their Facebook page and to support the organization in any way they can. They have a wonderful store either to donate or to purchase at Neat Repeats at about 159 and that'd be 9000 West in the Looms Plaza there. So wonderful organization that helps a lot of people, a lot of women, a lot of families. So thank you for having them and thank you for the ordinance.
Trustee Malani?
I'd like to, welcome Stan's Donuts on their journey to coming to Orland Park. Hope they have great success. Also, want to point out that we're equipping our police department with the materials they need to be safe while doing their jobs. So that was another good thing that happened tonight. And just wanted to point, we also had a very successful golf outing over the weekend, over 105 registered attendees at the Veterans Golf Classic. So despite the situation we're in, we had a great turnout for that. Other than that, that's all I had. So thank you and have a good night.
Thank you. Thanks again to the Crisis Center. It's a great cause. I encourage people to contribute, and I know many did a month and a half or so ago at the concert, and I appreciate it. Bet's golf outing was again fantastic, and it was a little bit down in turnout, as you might expect with COVID and some of the changes, and we had to change the dates and all of that kind of stuff, but still had over 100 golfers and still raised a lot of money for our veterans groups. So, and we had a beautiful day again. So it was a great outing. So I appreciate everyone's hard work, all the veterans groups and all of our staff for that. Also, I had, a lot of times there's other things to talk about, so we don't necessarily get to hear the good news and the good stories we get. But I did get a couple of things in the last few days from residents. This one was to the police department. It said, "There are no words that can say thank you for all each and every one of you do for our community. Please know that there are many people who notice this. May God bless each and every one of you for all that you do. Your job is it's hard to read this. Your job is hard and not that easy. Thank you for always being there and protecting us all." So that was for our police department. So thank you for that. Then also we got one which we also don't receive that much praise for, our Public Works Department. It's really nice to be able to do that today. It's usually people complaining about a pothole. In this case, it was, I'm writing to let you know that I'm so very pleased with the repaving project in the Parkview Estates subdivision. The crew from Austin Tyler Construction is absolutely 100% outstanding. They are very proficient and courteous. I originally had anxiety over the project. The project management has been excellent on this project. Best regards. So, our staff doing a great job, and I thought it was important to that everyone knows that. Lastly, tonight we approved Stan's Donuts coming into PDQ. Last board meeting it was Pete's, and then before that it was BMW, and we have other projects that have been coming in as well, and that's even with COVID going on. It speaks volumes for the great community that we have in Orland Park. So thanks to everyone for all their hard work on all of these projects, and I'm looking forward to more coming in the coming months. That I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Fenton?
Move to go into executive session for A, approval of minutes, B, purchase or lease of real property for the use of the village, C, pending litigation against, affecting, or on behalf of the village, or when found by the board that such action is probable or imminent.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrola?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.